Call to order. Meeting of March 6, 2025, 7:30. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilor Burlingame.
Here.
Councilor Khaleesi. Here. Councilor Greathouse. Here. Councilor Steer.
Here.
Councilor Worthy.
Here. Please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First half is the point.
Thank you. Open forum for agenda items. Anyone wishing to speak on agenda item, please step up to the microphone and state your name when called on. Nobody signed up. Everything's great. All right. B, presentation update and disposition of the town property, 1272 Putnam Pike, discussion or action. I put this back on the agenda. We met with a local resident of Glocester. Gary, myself, and the resident met at the property, showed an interest in taking the building down from the inside, basically taking down the timber frame, and then part of the project is he would remove the whole property from the property where it sits. Is he here today? Why don't you come up? Will you just state your name and your address?
Yes, Matt Light, 140 Evans Road.
Okay. So you reached out to the town council to learn a little bit about that building, take a look at it from the inside and see if you could possibly save it?
Sure, yes. I run the Light Foundation, and through the Light Foundation we have a timber framing program. About 15 years ago, I began taking down barns. I've taken down 130 barns, a lot of log cabins, timber frame homes, some here in the Northeast, a lot in the Midwest. The idea is to preserve the past. I saw that the building was slated for demolition, wanted to take a look and see if there's anything worth salvaging. And there is, a considerable amount of the frame that is in good enough shape that we can preserve a lot of the history of this area. And for me, that's important. When we teach timber framing, we want to make sure that the kids can see real world examples, to see what the hewing marks were, to see those that, performed those duties back in the day and took a lot of the native forest and turned it into usable parts. And so while there probably won't be a full frame to salvage, whatever is salvageable, we'll take back and we'll use a lot in our camps and teaching the art of timber framing.
Gotcha. Anybody have any questions?
So when you take that down, you'll take the rest of the building and demo it out?
So the way it works, we'll remove everything from the inside, so all the old plaster and lab will come down, and we'll start on the first floor, make our way up, drop everything down through to the subfloor, right? So it'll go down into the basement. There is a full basement under the house today.
Yep.
Most of that material will drop down there. The roof, when it comes off, there will be material that comes off the roof, as we pull rafters and everything. Then we get down to just the frame, exterior comes off, and then we're gonna de-peg and take everything apart piece by piece. There will be a considerable amount of material that is left over that makes up some of your subflooring, siding, things of that nature, roof material. What we typically do is put all that into the frame, or into the existing foundation.
Okay.
Or if needed, we can try to set that aside. Most of the time when we go on these sites, if I show up to a site and a place is too far gone, right? A lot of people do this and they monetize it. That's not what we do, right? We're there to preserve the past. So in most cases, we leave the site as clean as we can, take all the material that we're gonna use that we can repurpose or turn back into an existing frame. In this case, I think this frame is gonna be about half good. So we'll be able to take some of the members and use them to make repairs that are needed for other members that are too far gone, powder post beetle and such, water damage and all that stuff. So there would be material left. Now, if there's a need, in theory, the house is gonna be demoed, there's gonna be equipment there to take care of this stuff. My goal would be to leave it in its best condition, everything nice and clear,
Yep.
kept right there on the foundation, take away, mainly beams. There may be some subflooring and other things of that nature that we can salvage and take that off site, leaving considerably less material than what we would have today if it was gonna be a full tear down.
And Gary, you're good with this? Okay.
So I think the idea, to make this fair for any other resident of Gloucester is to put on municipal. And then in that municipal bid, we're gonna put, all of the normal legality information there as far as like who, make sure that everybody's in covered insurance, town's not gonna be liable for anything. So we're gonna like set kind of, parameters of that municipal bid.
Yeah, I mean, I met with Mr. Light at the property, and he described basically what he just went over now, and, you know, this is a better option than just tearing it down and that's it, and goes to Johnston, so.
Or burning it down for that
Oh,
matter.
right, so.
I think we're keeping with history.
Possibly here in Gloucester.
Yeah, I would try to keep this local. I mean, we are building a Timbertown Training Village, which would be more of a trade school back in the Midwest. I'm taking material to, our farm in the Midwest where most of our programming takes place. We are transitioning programming out here. We do plan to open a timber framing camp as we do in Ohio here. So it'd be very exciting to host something, obviously your family history, the history of the town, things that are representative of this area. And the material in that home, I would say, was more turn of the century, right? Late 1700s, early 1800s. Is very indicative of several of the structures that still stand today. So for me, I'm not gonna lie to you, it's a walk back in time. We get to see how these, master timber framers did their joinery, scribe rule versus square rule, how they put things together, the mistakes they made, layout lines, all that kind of stuff. And for a young person to see those things, it's a little bit different than talking about it or reading in a book, so.
Yeah.
Well, even older folks, it's interesting to see.
Sure.
So just a side note, who are the students?
We work with kids in our programming from first grade all the way through graduating to seniors in high school. So currently our programming that exists today, we have a program called the Light Project. It's for first graders here in the Glocester school system. Just announced that earlier this year for this school year. We have our youth turkey hunt that we've held. This will be our 5th year. I confuse them. We have one that's been going for 14 years in Ohio. But as we have made an investment, my family and I here in the area, we plan on bringing more and more of our program that we do in the Midwest and mirroring that here in this area. So there's a lot of information on our website if you're interested in kind of what we do as a nonprofit.
Side note,
Great
right,
idea.
Okay, you good?
I'm good with it.
All right, can I get a motion?
Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Mr. Light, Mr. Light.
Yep.
Oh, yes, sir.
Just so the council clear, your group comes in, they're fully insured contractors?
Yes, sir.
And they,
Fully insured.
will they have a certificate that insures the town as a co-insurer in case something happens?
Whatever you require, whatever the,
But we wouldn't want you to necessarily expend more money, just that your insurance is in place and we're added as an additional
Sure.
insurance, so that if somebody gets injured, we're covered by your workers' comp, we're covered by
Definitely.
your insurance, because we're letting you on the property.
Sure,
Is that-
yep.
That's something that we can work out?
we can definitely do that.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I'll make a motion to authorize the DPW director to place the structure located on town property 1272 Putnam Pike up for auction on municipal bid. Said listing shall include all stipulations of sale as prepared by the director and reviewed by the town solicitor.
Okay, second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Consent items, discussion or action, approval of town council minutes, regular meeting of February 2025. Motion's ready for approval. Can I get a motion?
Motion to approve the town council minutes of February 2025.
A second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Unfinished business, A, boards and commissions, discussion and interaction. Appointments, discussion, interaction, parade committee, continued from 9/5/2024. Alternative number 2, alternative number 3. There's no recommendations at this time. Can I get a motion?
Motion to table the appointments to the parade committee, alternate number 2 and alternate number 3, to the town council meeting of March 20, 2025.
A second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. Land trust member at large from planning board, one term to expire 1/31/2026. Position became vacant in January due to resignation of the at-large member of the planning board. The planning board chair has no recommendations at this time, but indicated they will have one before long. May I get a motion?
Make a
Motion
motion.
to table the appointments to the member at large position to the land trust from the planning board to March 20, 2025.
A second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Board and commissions, term current with the town council to expire 12/31/26. Discussion or action, Economic Development Commission, one ad hoc non-voting member, number one, term to expire 12/31/2026. No recommendations at this time. Can I get a motion?
Make a motion to table the appointment to number one ad hoc non-voting position on the Economic Development Commission for a 2-year term to expire 12/31/26.
Got a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes.
I'll make a motion to table the appointment to number two ad hoc non-voting position on the Economic Development Commission for a 2-year term to expire 12/31/26.
I get a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Passes. 2, Affordable Housing Advisory Board, position 2, 3, 4, and 5, term to expire 12/31/2026. Planner asked for her liaison to remove item V11B2A from the table until a later date. Can I get a motion, please?
Motion to remove from the table item 7, unfinished business, B, boards and commission appointments, 2A, Affordable Housing Advisory Board to a later date to be determined.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. New business, board contracts and purchases, RFP 2024-01 EDC branding services, discussion and interaction. A, consideration to award bid, discussion or action. The EDC went out to bid a second time and bids were received. A recommendation was made by the Board of Contracts and Purchases. This award was not considered by the Town Council previously as it was held contingent upon funding. Memorable and Honorable Town Council from Elizabeth L. A. Beltran, Finance Director, Economic Development Commission, place branding contract, date March 6, 2025. The Glocester Board of Contracts met Friday, October 4th, 2024, and unanimously approved the EDC recommendation of the proposal from Ashley Peck and Toonie Shartner for place branding services at the bid price of $22,000. This motion was contingent upon the EDC securing the necessary additional funding to match 12.5 designated ARPA funds allocated to this project. As they have successfully reached that goal, it is my recommendation to the council that RFP 2024 EDS branding services be awarded to Ashley Peck and Toonie Shartner for the quoted price of $22,000. Respectfully, Elizabeth A. Beltram, Finance Director. Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion to award RFP 2024-01 EDC branding services to Ashley Peck Creative LLC and Toonie Shartner Consulting LLC for the total bid price of $22,000.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Look to see it working.
I'm really excited to start this.
You've been working on it for like 2 years now, at least.
Yeah, we're all like raring to go.
I feel like we should call Steve. Give him a heads up.
FaceTime him in.
That's it. Anyways, congratulations.
Thank you.
B, authorization to sign contract between Town Glocester EDC and Ashley Peck Creative LLC and Toonie Shartner Consultant LLC, discussion or action. If the bid is awarded, the contract can be signed. The solicitor has reviewed. David, do you have any questions on this?
Nope, it's fine, Mr. President, I reviewed it, satisfied.
Perfect. Can I get a motion, please?
I'll make a motion to authorize the town council president to sign the contract entitled Service Contract Place Branding Gloucester RI dated March 4th, 2025 between contractors Ashley Peck Creative LLC, Ashley Peck owner, and Toonie Shartner Consulting LLC, Toonie Shartner owner, and the town of Gloucester and the Economic Development Commission. Said contract is at a fixed fee amount of $22,000.
Okay, second.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Conversion of lighting to LED lights, Gloucester Memorial Park Tennis Court. Awarded contract for conversion of lighting per State Master Price Agreement number 41. Discussion and interaction. The planner can explain the project and how it came to be. The proposed vendor was chosen from the State Master Price Agreement. Number 41 is noted that the service is a specialized service. The Board of Contracts and Purchases met and made a recommendation to the Town Council. Memo, Honorable Town Council from Elizabeth A. Beltram, Finance Director. LED light upgrade, Gloucester Memorial Park, date March 6, 2025. The Gloucester Board of Contracts met on Tuesday, March 4th, 2025 to review a quote received from Rossi Electric for highly specialized lighting work at Gloucester Memorial Park. The board voted unanimously to recommend awarding regarding the project of Rossi Electric Company for the bid price of $38,000 to council for review and consideration. Please see the attached. Respectfully, Elizabeth A. Beltram. Can I get a motion, please?
So, this is totally covered by the grant, that's what I'm reading here?
Yes, we have 22,962 is in a Rhode Island Energy Efficiency Block Grant, 14,175 is in a National Grid Community Funds Grant, and $862 is coming out of existing town budget funds, and we have an account number identified in the attachment. So, almost all, 97%.
I'll make a motion to award the contract for LED light upgrade at Glocester Memorial Park to Rossi Electric Company, as selected from the State of Rhode Island Master Price Agreement, NPA number 41, in the amount of $38,000.
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Authorization to sign contract between Town of Gloucester and Rossi Electric Company, discussion or action. Karen, have you gone through this?
I'm waiting on the contract. He's gonna email to me tomorrow, so I was wondering if we could get the authorization to sign pending approval and review by town solicitor. It's a very straightforward bid, and it's probably gonna be a very straightforward contract.
I'm fine as long as you make it subject to,
Okay.
subject to review.
Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion to authorize town council president to sign the contract between the Town of Gloucester and Rossi Electric Company in the amount of $38,000 pending approval from the town solicitor. The town solicitor review and approval.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Consider and authorize signing memorandum of understanding amendment executed May 13th, 2024. Energy efficiency and conservation block grant program between Town of Gloucester and the RI Office of Energy Resources. Discussion interaction, councils received a memo from the planner, 2 town council members, from Karen Scott, town planner, date February 25, 2025. Energy efficiency and conservation block grant program. The Rhode Island Office of Energy Resources had made federal energy efficiency conservation block grant program funds available to municipalities. This funding can be used towards energy efficiency upgrades for existing buildings and facilities. The original agreement was to spend $22,962.18 to make improvements to the building, weatherization, and upgrades to the HVAC equipment at the police station. Since the police station is not undergoing the extensive renovation that was anticipated, the scope has been changed to replace 8 lights at Glocester Memorial Park with LED lights, which will save the town significantly in electric costs. The funding does not require a municipal match. I am requesting authorization for the town council president to sign the attached memorandum of understanding amendment 1 with the Rhode Island Office of Energy Resource. End of motion. End of memo. Can I get a motion?
I make a motion to authorize the town council president to sign the first amendment to the memorandum of understanding energy efficiency and conservation block grant program between the Rhode Island Office of Energy Resources and the town of Gloucester.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. 2, grant application, Town of Gloucester, Gloucester School Department, and RIDE. Learn 365 RI, Municipal Learning Project, discussion interaction. Councils received a memo from the planner. 2 town council members from Karen Scott, town planner, date March 4th, 2025. Learn 365 grant funding. The town has been offered a grant of at least $40,000 as part of the Learn 365 RI Municipal Learning Project to support the Math Matters initiative. The funding will support out-of-school time learning programs with an explicit focus on mathematics for students K through 8. The Gloucester and regional school districts have indicated they would like to use these funds for intensive after-school math programming. The town must be the receiving entity for the grant funds. These funds will be passed through the Gloucester and regional school districts, who will run all the programs. I'm requesting signature of the attached application to apply for these funds. End of memo. Can I get a motion, please?
Motion to authorize the town council president to sign the Learn 365 RI Municipal Learning Project grant application form to be submitted to RIDE on March 7, 2025.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
I have.
Aye.
Yep.
Wait, you have questions?
Yeah,
Yep.
I've got questions. I see the school committee's here. I have some questions about this. As far as is there a plan in place for these funds already? Do you have, is this gonna cost more than the $40,000 for these programs, or is the $40,000 gonna cover it?
Depending on what we get, we would put the program in place based on the funding that we get.
But it wouldn't cost more than the $40,000 at this time?
No.
Okay. All right, I'm all set.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Request from Gloucester Economic Development Commission to establish a Facebook social media page, discussion and interaction. Council received a request from the Gloucester EDC Commission. To Gloucester Town Council from the Gloucester Economic Development Commission. Date March 6, 2025. Subject proposal for the EDC to administer a Facebook page in compliance with town policy. The purpose of the Gloucester EDC seeks approval from the Town Council to establish and manage a Facebook page that will promote local businesses, attract new businesses, and engage with the community on economic development initiatives. The Facebook page will be operated in accordance with all town policies regarding social media usage to ensure transparency, professionalism, and accountability. The objective: the EDC's Facebook page will serve as a key communication platform to promote Gloucester's local businesses and events, share important updates on economic initiatives and development projects, engage with the community on matters related to economic growth, provide a space for community feedback and ideas to foster economic development. Facebook policy compliance. To ensure that the Facebook page is compliant with both Gloucester and Town Council's social media and Facebook owned guidelines, the EDC proposes the following measures. Content management. The page will be managed by designated members of the EDC, with one primary administrator and two backup administrators approval by the Town Council. All content will be pre-approved by the EDC chair or an authorized member to ensure alignment with town objectives. Posts will focus on promoting economic development and avoid political endorsements, personal attacks, or inappropriate content. 2. Public interaction and moderation. The Facebook page will be monitored daily to respond to public inquiries and messages. Comments will be only allowed upon approval by an approved administrator. All interactions with the public via direct messaging will maintain a professional and courteous tone in line with the town's commitment to respectful communications. Compliance with town and Facebook policies. The EDC will strictly adhere to the Gloucester Town Council social media policy, including record-keeping requirements, public records of law, and any achieved needs, archiving needs. The Facebook page will also follow all of Facebook's community standards, ensuring that no content that violates Facebook terms of service is posted. Number 4, security and privacy. The EDC will take necessary precautions to secure the Facebook page, including enabling two-factor authentication and maintenance strong passwords. Any shared information about businesses or events will be in compliance with the privacy regulations, and no personal data will be disclosed without proper consent. 5, regular reporting. The EDC will submit quarterly reports to the Town Council outlining Facebook page activities, including engagement metrics, community feedback, and any incidents of inappropriate behavior or policy violations. Conclusion and request action. The Gloucester EDC is committed to fostering economic growth in the community through reasonable and transparent use of social media. We believe that managing a dedicated Facebook page will enhance the communication, promote local business, and engage the public in meaningful discussions about the town's economic future. We respectfully request the Town Council's approval for the EDC to create and manage this Facebook page with designated administrators and compliant measures in place and following the policies and procedures as outlined in this proposal, submitted by the members of the Gloucester Economic Development Commission in a memo. So I guess what I just read would kind of be like the foundation of how you guys will monitor all of the correspondence.
Yeah,
This is kind of like your,
yep, that's exactly right, the policy that we would adhere to and expect any administrator to adhere to.
So how many Facebook pages do we currently have in the town of Gloucester? I know the police have one, and I know Gloucester Rec does. And those are town employees that monitor that. And there's very strict guidelines on that as well.
Yeah, I know that Matt Moore had some questions, but he hasn't given them to me to pass on yet.
When we
So
talked about,
we'll-
oh, sorry, go ahead, Jane, I'm sorry.
No, I didn't know whether you'd be ready tonight for a motion, or if you needed
So,
Matt to review.
I know-
don't know.
I know we went through this when we were looking at possibly the council having a Facebook page.
Yes.
And there were legal issues that we would be running into, even if it wasn't an interactive page, if A, we didn't have anybody to monitor it and to run it.
And we didn't want one person delivering a message either.
Exactly. So I think one of the issues with a board or commission having a Facebook page is, messaging, first of all. Messaging should come from here, people who are elected to do it. Because, especially if it's interactive, that's a whole nother rabbit hole we go down with what could happen there. So I just think I understand it's a great proposal, how you put it together. But I think it's something that we should not be entertaining right now. It's something that could put us in jeopardy, not because of the individuals involved.
I think we may even run into an issue with censorship, probably. Monitoring and, either allowing or disallowing and making that decision.
This is
It's
like
another
another place where
responsibility.
the town manager would, other towns do have these pages, right? I mean, let's not be.
That's what I'm looking at, yeah, a bunch of towns do.
So we would have, I think we'd have to kind of look and see how see if they have a town manager that, is your key point person.
The difference between the two that we currently have, the police and the rec, that's
Employees.
administered by town employees.
Right.
One of his concerns was that our social media policy needed to be updated in a few
Okay.
places. I know that the records retention laws have changed, and a lot of this content has to be preserved.
That was the other
So
thing.
he was going to go through the social media policy that we have in place and update it where he needed to. So I don't know, maybe we could work together.
Yeah, I'd like to see him get in
Come
that.
on back.
I'd also like to see, it looks like, Portsmouth has one, Coventry has one Facebook page, so I'd like you to look at the other towns that have them and see how they're running them.
Maybe we
I
can
mean,
reach out to their
yeah,
admins.
Just how they're doing it and see, what the process is or what controls they have in place.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah, I'm not against it, I'm
not against it
favor,
either.
I
I
just think
just
there's some
wanna-
more things we
Do
have
have
to out
you,
before.
chosen your administrator and your backups? Do you already have?
It would be chair, vice chair, the secretary that we have.
Yeah.
So whoever's filling that
Experience
role.
of monitoring Facebook pages?
Yeah.
Okay.
Before you do all this work, I'm just gonna say that I think it's a bad idea, not because of the work that they do, but I think it puts a lot of onus on the town. It puts us in a position where we might not wanna be, and we have enough to worry about. We don't have a town manager. These other towns either have some type of form of executive that can handle different things. We don't. So I just think it's an idea that we should be very cautious with at best.
Yeah, I respect that. I mean, if you still want to go ahead and get the data, find out, does the town have a town manager? Reach out to the admins and say, how did you guys, how do you work this with your council?
And the other towns definitely have at least a couple I've checked have town managers, so
Yeah.
figure out how they're doing it.
It definitely makes sense and certainly.
I think it would be a great idea. I think it would be really, if we can get all our ducks in a row and we know exactly
Coventry has
where
one.
we're at with it, I think it would be a great asset to our town. The police department has the Facebook page.
But it's messaging, that's the issue. I mean, all it takes is one person to say the wrong thing, and maybe not even on purpose.
Well,
Sure,
perhaps
And it
we
puts
could
us in a
make
big
it
deal.
non-messaging, maybe it
Yeah.
could be announcements
Yeah.
of what is taking place. We really need to get out to the community and let them know about the events that are taking place. So if it was non-messaging, I think it could be effective.
Right, and honestly, from our perspective, I don't know what
Pretty
sort of
close, yeah.
messaging would benefit the EDC, so we don't even really need it.
Yeah, but you could also look at it as, I think when you look at our website, well, the town doesn't have really a Facebook page, but if we've gone this route with the town having a Facebook page, that again, we have some challenges, right? But I think the basic process of what we've gone through is that it would just be repeating the information that's on our website, would be repeated on the Facebook page. And that way there's no changes in
Right.
content or
Right.
thoughts. So, like if you put stuff that was on your EDC website that you're about to create and you just mimicked, what was that? Brand new store coming into town, blah, blah, blah.
And that was kind of our intention, we weren't kind
Right.
of gonna try to take any sort of creative license with what was happening.
Well, I mean, we already have a website. EDC already has a website.
I think
We're
very
hoping it would
few,
drive traffic.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
No,
Well,
that's
I
okay.
mean,
I think very few people go on our website, but a lot of people in town go on Facebook. So
Oh, they do.
I think it could be,
Agreed, no.
I
We
think
just gotta
it
be
could
very
be
careful about how we,
very
you
effective.
Understand,
know, how
I
we step
one
forward.
hundred percent understand.
Opens us up.
Yeah.
it opens up even if it's not interactive.
Yeah.
And Matt'll confirm that, because I remember having that conversation when we were at the council level, so. A lot of it's record retention, and it's a lot of work. It's not just having, it doesn't cost anything to open a Facebook page, but it's all the other work. And then now you're dealing with volunteers who, you're having problems trying to get people to fill some of those spots now, and, but they're not town employees, so things you need to be thinking about if we're gonna do something like this. So.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, there's other ideas. I mean, maybe it's an idea of you run that by Matt Floor before something goes on there. I don't know.
Well, he's got plenty to do.
No, true. I'm just trying to throw stuff out there. I mean, there's maybe some other solutions. I don't know.
Well, let's find out how the rest of them are doing it, and if it looks like it's something that we can possibly entertain,
We'll bring back some more information.
bring back information. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, D, special event application, Gloucester Heritage Society, yard sale proposed to be held at 1043 Putnam Pike, Reuben Mason House. A, determine if exempt from public hearing and/or set public hearing date, discussion, interaction. The president of the Heritage Society, Mary Sweet, has submitted an application for the event to be held at 1043 Putnam Pike. Ms. Sweet has indicated the event is the same event previously held, therefore asking to waive the public hearing.
I got a question for Maria. I know she's here. She's got a quick question for you. I just need you to come up so we can hear it. And maybe I shouldn't have asked it here, but that's okay. Give the same answer. So, thanks for coming up.
What can I do?
Well, thanks for coming up. It was just, the scope is the same, right? It's not any bigger than last year?
No,
Yep, it's the same old.
same old, same old, same old.
All right. That was my only question, just
Oh.
make sure it wasn't bigger or not, so.
No, no, it's not.
All right, thank you.
Yep, thank you.
All right, can we get a motion then?
I'll make a motion to waive a public hearing for special event per ordinance 175-4B2 to be held at the Heritage Society at 1043 Putnam Pike on April 26, 2025, with a rain date of April 27, 2025. Said special event is a repeat event with the same components as their previous event.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
You did. You did good. Consider application, discussion or action. If the public hearing is waived, then the application can be considered. I guess the police chief, we're all good? Okay. All right, can I get another motion, please?
Motion to grant the application for a special event to be held by the Heritage Society on April 26, 2025, with a rain date of April 27, 2025, at the Reuben Mason House, 1043 Putnam Pike. Said event to include a yard sale and 7 vendors with the following stipulations. 1, no on-street parking. 2, the number of vendors shall not exceed the number included on the application. 3, no alcoholic beverages shall be allowed in the area utilized for the event.
A second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed. Legislative updates, discussion, and action. Anybody have any legislative news or updates?
If you've been monitoring, it seems like along with housing, and Karen could probably speak to this more, it looks like they're trying to finish off the towns and cities with the zoning independence, I guess is a lack of a better term.
Yes.
That's just one of many, but I think we really need to be keeping an eye on that. And I don't know, Karen, if you have any updates that, especially when it comes to zoning.
The luncheon that the governor had with all of the town leaders was basically saying that by 2030, we have to hit our 10%. So I don't think that's even possible with the amount of buildings that we're putting up every year.
No, this is what we say every year, and we're short 360 units, and we only average 25 building permits a year. Just do the math on that, that's not gonna
Right.
happen in 4 years. But anyway, The League of Cities and Towns sent out a good summary of all the legislative housing bills that came out. I don't know if you got that, if you get those league emails, it's just a paragraph about each one, so that's a good overview. If anyone wants to take any kind of action on any of these, let me know.
Well, are there any of concern for you that we need to get our legislators involved with, let them know? I mean, you don't have to tell us right now, but
Yeah, no, I'll
if you
take a
can
closer
give us a
look.
memo.
Be honest, the damage is kind of already done. This is just like little, it's like, we've already taken the leap, now these are just little tiny steps. So I'll take a look and see if there's anything that really jumps out.
All right. 'Cause you're the expert on that
Yeah,
stuff,
we
so.
try, we really went hard last year and tried to pull back some of the stuff, and it just got no traction, so. I'll try again.
Thank you.
Karen.
Thank you.
I have some legislative updates that I would just like to put on record here in Gloucester. Spent a lot of time over the last couple of weeks at the State House with the firearms ban. They're calling it a assault weapons ban, but it includes almost everything that you could possibly imagine. Everything from 1860 Remington block gun that has the knife on the end, the bayonet lug, thank you. Is basically going to be illegal. Any kind of shotgun that has any kind of threaded barrel on it, whether it be for chokes, is also going to be illegal. Any firearm that has a magazine to supply, rounds to the gun will also be illegal. Any revolver weighing over 50 ounces is going to be illegal. At the State House, this is what they're putting through, and I think that a lot of the Second Amendment supporters are saying, don't change it, leave it the way it is, let it fly or let it die. So we've been told that it's not going to be part of the budget, so they've already separated it from the budget. But Gloucester people need to be reaching out to your legislators, your senators, and the speaker, because again, they're going for everything.
Who has said it is unconstitutional?
Everybody, Sakachi has said that it's unconstitutional. All of the leaders have said that it's unconstitutional. Even the person who wrote the bill, which is Rep. Knight out of Barrington, has said that he knows that it's 100% illegal. It's in the fabric of Rhode Island to not have any kind of registration, and he knows it. But there's a lot of gun owners, obviously, in these outlying small towns, and knowing firsthand that when they did the mag ban, they only got 300 magazines, so a lot more than 300 magazines out here. And I personally, I've done the economic reporting on this, that basically the state would, if all the gun shops shut down and there was no more firearms in the state of Rhode Island, we would lose $360 million towards our budget. It's a lot of money. So there's the Pittman Act, which is an act that's basically protects our beaches, and this money comes in from manufacturers of rifles, guns, and ammunition. And right now, Rhode Island, I think, gets $117 million for that, and that's what funds DEM. Again, it takes care of our boat ramps, our beaches, our walkways, our bird paths, anything outside that, if you don't like guns, you're only walking on that because of the firearms industry in the state of Rhode Island. So, again, regardless of where you fall on this, you could have grandpa's rifle hanging over your fireplace. The next thing you know, you could be a felon. So just keep an eye on that. That's all I have on that.
I have, just as the liaison for the budget in schools, the elementary schools presented their budget last night, I believe. Was it 28% you guys presented? Yeah, it's 28%, so it's a very big ask. It's over $2 million. We only have a $1.2 million cap for the town itself, so we're gonna have to figure something out to work that down.
We don't.
The budget board has it now.
Budget board.
Right. So I just wanna make everybody aware of that.
All right.
By the way, just remember, we only approve the bottom line budget. We don't have anything to do with the budget itself. That's presented to us. We only sign off to send to the voters.
Right. Not the
Which the
individual
voters would
line
be-
item, just the bottom line.
The voters here 28%, they're gonna lose their minds.
Oh, we can't increase more than 1.2 million as a town anyway, unless we, as a committee, go to the legislature, which I don't really have any appetite to do. And then we also,
Taxpayers, yeah.
right, and then we have to get the taxpayers to vote for it again. I don't see a budget that high passing, so, you know, then we'd be level funded, so.
Anybody else? All right, town council correspondence and discussion. Council received the following correspondence. A resolution from Exeter West Greenwich Regional School Committee in support of full fund for the category transportation aid as outlined in RIGL 16-7.2-6. And the resolution from Exeter West Greenwich Regional School Committee in support of amending RIGL 16-21.1-1 regarding funding for homeless student transportation and requiring private schools to share the cost of said transportation.
I have a question, the superintendent, are these, what we just read about the regional school transportation, is that something we be in favor of, like the regional and the elementary, and is it something that we can do to help with that?
So the state and Department of Education were advocating for the regions to be adjusted and changed. When you have to pay for a student who goes to a private school based on your.
Can I have you come up here?
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Don't get it
It's,
on the
it's
report.
good information and we'd like everybody to be,
My resident,
yeah,
not my.
you're okay.
Fantastic. So there's an ask about regional transportation. So regional zones were set years ago. So when we send a student, we have to pay for a student for private education. They go to Bishop Hendricken, that's within our region, we pay for that. So what we're asking, superintendent's ride is advocating for it as well, is that they redistrict the regions. So it makes sense that when you say they're in your region, they're actually closer to you. And I'll give an example. Bristol Warren is in the same region as Smithfield. So if a student from Bristol Warren attends a school in Smithfield, they're paying for that transportation. So that's the ask right now, and I believe it was heard twice already.
Is it-
Yes, I would say if you could support that.
Yeah, if we need a resolution or something, you know, if we can support that, you know.
Thank you.
You got it, thank you.
Thank you.
We can get that on the next agenda.
That's the second resolution? Compost.
Yeah, we wanna make sure we get the right
Oh,
resolution
yeah,
here.
I'm not sure about the full funding. I can send it to the superintendent.
Yeah, if the superintendent
We
can
have two,
confirm.
they're requesting support of two separate things.
I wasn't aware of that, so if you want to send it to me, then I definitely can.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Sure.
Thank you.
It's either full funding or for the homeless student funding for the transportation.
Yes.
Both of them are driving up the costs.
Yes.
Correct. And both of them fall within those zones that I was just speaking about. Yes.
All right, department head reports and discussions. Any department heads? All right. I got to look at the dispatch room. It looks great.
Oh, you saw it, that's what I'm going to talk
Congratulations.
about, thank you. I'm very proud and excited to talk about that. We're fully operational in the last 2 or 3 weeks. I want to thank Councilman Steer that saw it through from the beginning. That was all funded with the COPS grant, Community Oriented Policing Grant, that was Matt Four, IT Director. John Falco, I call him our head dispatcher, he did the design on that. We're state of the art until next 20 years. It's phenomenal. And so I'm proud to say that we're done, and I welcome anybody else to come in and want to come by and look at it.
Is that the area where all the computers were all?
Right, and that's why we swing that out. Remember you asked
Yep,
about
I did ask
it's
about that.
better now because it's just the ergonomics of it,
Yep.
and it's a lot better. And the technology, we have the latest and greatest. We're up-to-date 800 system. Cybercom did a tremendous job for us, and this was a big lift for us, and a big lift for our IT.
Clean.
Yeah, yeah.
So clean.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And some of the ARPA funds left over, ARPA funds you gave me we're able to do some of the renovations. We did the bathroom, that needed, it's 35, we did that over, was able to do the flooring, the electrical, we have different, and we had to put a lot more electrical in and a panel, because we loaded everything, all the stuff, and we have an IT room now. So it's an amazing, it's made, you know, the interoperations with that through the state, we're at the top of our game with that, and it's 20, it'll be there for 20, 30, 40 years, unless something breaks.
Yep.
Which I don't think. Secondly is, in my presentation to the budget board this year, I asked for the whole capital for the next 3 years. And I get it, and they were kind of shocked when I said that, but that's just to catch up on 5 or 6 years of projects. The lot, the new tower's still out there we're gonna have to do. Cybercom won't go up to a second level because of the tower. So that equipment is in standby. That's the backup redundancy for the 800 system. There was a lot of things that we're looking to do, and I asked for, and I know it's a difficult lift. But last week, they all came in. They did a whole tour. They spent about an hour and a half, and it was amazing. They're an amazing group of people, and I know they got probably the toughest job in the world this year, but they did an amazing job. They came with us, and they spent about an hour and a half at the police station. They saw what I went before, and what we need to get, these are like high priority, they need to get done, that have been on hold for the last 5 years. And then, I think I've said this about 400 times. And I want to thank Councilman Staley again. He was there from the beginning, he saw how it started, and he saw it through, and he was there every other week coming to check on us. That floor is tremendous. Weekends, holidays, just to get the wiring. And we ultimately want to bring all our servers into that IT room now, which is going to be, that's one of our high priority capital projects. So I just want to give you an update. Welcome to come in, and I can give you a tour. Budget board just did it, so they were great, and then I open up everybody else. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. And I just want to echo the chief's comments about a couple of our employees, Matt Floor and John Falco. They did a lot of work, and they saved the town a lot of money by the work they did. So kudos to them.
Yeah. They're proud of it, too.
They should be.
Yeah. Which was real good. You're up.
Thanks. The Rhode Island Department of Transportation is doing their Transportation Improvement Program solicitation. It's where all the state aid roads go on the list, where they schedule out over 4 years what roads are gonna get redone. You know, the one that you'll remember is probably Reservoir Road, which just kept going and going and going. So after talking to Gary, I think we were gonna submit one project to the tip, and it's Route 44 from Dino's to the roundabout, crack sealing, pothole fixing, redo the crosswalks to make sure that it doesn't get any worse condition than it is. That's the only one that came to mind. This is again not for like our local roads. Those will never make it on. They have to kind of rise to state significance. So it's kind of, if we notice something that's a state road that needs work, we can submit it through this. So if anyone had any other roads they wanted to submit or projects.
Snake Hill, right over before Knight's Farm, they always have that. It's like somebody just jackhammers it. When you come up the hill just before Knight's Farm, you turn in the corner, and it's always destroyed up there.
Is that a state road over there?
Yep.
All right, so I can do that one too.
There's that one spot of Snake Hill is just always terrible.
So is it the four corners at 116?
Just before the apple orchard.
All right, I'll talk to Gary and we'll get the.
Yeah, Gary knows where it is.
Yeah. I can submit that too. What does it need? Does it need,
Just needs to be resurfaced. I mean, it's just
Resurface.
all sorts of potholes in there that it needs to get resurfaced right there. It's a very small stretch, like not more than 100, 200 feet.
I can submit it, they're all due next week, so, yeah, if anyone has any other things that kind of come to mind, just let me know. I'll submit them through the portal and hope for the best.
That's, when we're talking about resurfacing, well, not resurfacing, we're working on this area. A lot of that road bed was done back when 09, 10, especially between Chestnut Hill and the State Farm. And we know the type of traffic that goes through the village here in that area, so if we can get something done, that would be fantastic. Because you notice, especially this time of year, you notice it even in the village now, it's deteriorating pretty quickly.
Yeah, there's the freezing cold, the ice.
well, I'll get those 2 projects submitted, and then if anything else comes up, you know, let me know.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other department heads? Boards and commissions? Open forum. Nothing. All right, can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion to convene to close the executive session pursuant to RAGL 42-46-5A1, sessions pertaining to discussions of the job performance, character, or physical or mental health of a person or persons. Employees notified, discussion, considerations, vote, or other actions by town council. 1, discussion by council, vote, or other actions regarding 2 employees. B, RAGO 42-46-5A2, sessions pertaining to collective bargaining, litigation, or work sessions pertaining to collective bargaining or litigation. 1, discussion by council, vote, or other action regarding potential litigation. 2, discussion by council, vote, or other actions regarding negotiations of successor union contracts.
In a second,
Second.
will the clerk call the roll?
Council Burlingame.
Aye.
Council Calisi.
Aye.
Council Greathouse.
Aye.
Council Seer.
Aye.
Council Wood.
Aye. Take a quick 5-minute.